Imagine a world where the noise never stops, a relentless tide of chaos, pressure, and uncertainty. Sound familiar? Over 2,500 years ago, a man named Siddhartha Gautama faced these same questions. Born into a world of privilege, he abandoned it all to discover the secret to inner peace. Today, we know him as Buddha, and our promise is that his journey will offer timeless wisdom for anyone navigating the chaos of our modern lives. Siddhartha Gautama was no ordinary man. Born into royalty in ancient India, his life seemed destined for comfort and luxury. He had everything: wealth, power, and a future throne. Buddha's father, King Suddhodana, did not want him to see suffering. In fact, he actively tried to shield him from it by keeping him sheltered within the palace walls. For a prophecy stated that Siddhartha, Buddha's birth name, would either become a great king or a great spiritual leader, and his father feared the latter. Yet, despite all this wealth and power, a deep restlessness took hold of him. One day, as he ventured beyond the palace walls, Siddhartha saw things that shattered his sheltered existence. An old man, frail and bent with age, a sick man, writhing in pain, a wandering ascetic, and, finally, a corpse, lifeless and still. For the first time, he confronted the inevitability of suffering and death. How could peace exist in a world where everyone faces such pain? Amid this despair, he saw a wandering monk, calm and serene. Unlike the suffering faces around him, the monk radiated peace. Siddhartha knew he couldn't stay in the palace. He left behind his family, his kingdom, and all earthly comforts to search for the answer. How could anyone find peace in a world like this? Siddhartha's quest wasn't easy. At first, he believed that denying the body was the path to enlightenment. He joined a group of ascetics, fasting and enduring unimaginable hardships. For 6 years, he pushed himself to the brink, hoping that self-denial would free him from suffering. But it didn't. Instead, it left him weak and near death. As he sat beneath a fig tree, defeated, a simple realization dawned upon him. Extremes weren't the answer. Neither indulgence nor deprivation could lead to peace. What he needed was balance, a middle way. That night, Siddhartha meditated under the tree, resolving not to rise until he found the truth. Hours turned into days. He confronted his deepest fears, his desires, and the illusions that bound him to suffering. On the 49th day, as dawn broke, enlightenment came. He saw life for what it was, a cycle of desire, attachment, and inevitable suffering. But he also saw the way out. The Buddha's teachings are as relevant today as they were 2,500 years ago. Life, he said, is full of challenges. Suffering is unavoidable. But what makes it unbearable is our attachment, our endless craving for control, pleasure, and permanence in a world where nothing lasts. Buddha's path to peace lies in what he called the Eightfold Path, a guide to living with mindfulness, wisdom, and compassion. It's a blueprint for letting go of what we can't control and finding calm in the present moment. Think about how much time we spend worrying about the past or fearing the future. Buddha's advice to be present is more than a spiritual mantra. It's a survival skill for the modern world. His call for compassion reminds us that by understanding others, we can ease not only their suffering, but our own. Buddha's journey wasn't just about his own peace. It was driven by a profound empathy for others. His inner spark was his determination to lift humanity from suffering, to share the wisdom he had found under the Bodhi tree. Even today, his teachings continue to inspire, offering a path to tranquility in the chaos. The question he leaves us with is this: how can we bring peace into our own lives? Buddha's story shows that peace doesn't come from changing the world around us. It comes from transforming the way we see it. By finding balance, letting go of what we can't control, and embracing compassion, we can start to build a calmer, more centered life, no matter how chaotic the world may seem. Buddha's journey teaches us that the path to peace isn't about perfection. It's about persistence, about taking small steps toward understanding ourselves and others. His life is a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming chaos, peace is possible. But it begins within us. So, what about you? What steps will you take today to bring a little more calm and compassion into your life? Let us know in the comments below, and if Buddha's story inspired you, don't forget to like and subscribe for more timeless wisdom from the world's greatest thinkers and leaders.